Hookup culture. What a great invention of humanity to destroy women's pair bonding skills. Saying this gets women enraged, but as a man, especially in the MGTOW community, you know this ain't nothing but the truth. Ever since women smash with multiple guys and can't even go an entire month without sex, women's wifeability is nowhere to be found. The good, responsible men who wanted wives and not hoes have gone their own way or abroad, and the women who engaged in casual encounters have more wounds than a cyclist falling off the bike. Back in the day, virgins were a thing, and both wife and husband had to learn how to please each other. There was nothing wrong with that, and in fact, it was a sort of common growth experience. These days though, since women get a taste, or rather multiple tastes, of sex before ending up at the altar, they're never happy with a man's performance. Everything else a man can offer, including the skill to raise a family, provide and protect, becomes unimportant, because modern women are all about dicks.
How can I tell if I like the width of the D? Is that if in the very beginning it goes in slightly like harder, you know?
Oh, like it won't go all the way in first thrust.
Yeah, because then it's gonna be perfect.
Mm-hmm.
Because if it goes in like super smooth in the first, movement,
Yeah.
then it might not be the best.
Yeah, there's not be enough friction, I guess.
So it has to be a little struggle in the beginning.
Yeah, it's a good feeling when it actually like stretches you out. Right?
Yeah, very
Like,
good feeling. Yeah.
When it takes a few minutes to like acclimatize, let's say.
Yes. So that's like a good width, I would say. But
You look like you're having some memories there.
it's like nothing.
She belongs to the streets.
A sad reality, but it is what it is, and if your performance is not good enough, they can discard you immediately. That's the delusion of modern women. In today's video, we're delving into modern women's unhappiness after engaging in hookup culture, and why men don't want to take these women under any circumstances. Stick around because I'm sure you're going to love this one.
I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. I don't ever
Hookup culture has surged in popularity in recent years, driven by a societal shift towards casual relationships and immediate gratification. While some may argue its merits, which are slim to none, there are undeniable dangers that come hand in hand with this culture. These pitfalls have lasting emotional and psychological effects on modern women, impacting their ability to form healthy relationships and undermining their overall well-being. In the meantime, Chad, Tyrone, and every womanizer out there are happy to bang some women as a form of practice. One concerning consequence of hookup culture for modern women is the erosion of pair bonding skills. Deep emotional connections and the ability to form lasting relationships are essential for personal growth and happiness, that's for sure. However, in the fast-paced world of casual hookups, the emphasis on physicality often overshadows emotional intimacy, leading women to a diminished or rather no capacity to forge meaningful connections in the future, as they become accustomed to shallow interactions that lack genuine emotional depth. Furthermore, the constant comparison of current partners to past flames is another danger that emerges from hookup culture. Frequent casual encounters can foster a habit of reminiscing about previous relationships and comparing them to the present ones. This not only creates unnecessary strain on the current relationship, but also hinders the ability to fully appreciate and invest in the present partner. As you can see, many modern women go from D to D without taking the time to heal, so although they say that all their exes are dumb, in reality, at least they think of them, or even worse, keep them around. Another distressing outcome is the erosion of partner confidence, engaging in a degenerate culture that promotes a no-strings-attached interactions may instill doubt in partners, leading them to question their own worth and the stability of the relationship. The fear of being cheated on by an ex-lover can lead to insecurities and anxieties, which can eventually erode the trust and foundation of the relationship itself. Men who think all this are nothing but smart dudes who want to guarantee the success of their relationships. When men ask a woman for her body count, it's not because they want to humiliate her, but because they want to make sure they're investing in the right woman. Despite all the sexual liberation, when it's time to disclose her body count, she'll say nothing in order not to be slut-shamed.
There are women that are saying, well, I want to be promiscuous and I want to, have an OnlyFans and I want to do this, but I also want to be respected as if I don't. I want to be treated as if I don't. I want guys to forget about that and want to wife me up. And the guys don't like it. They don't like a high body count on women, and they don't like this stuff. So I'm trying to shake reality into women.
Why are so many guys obsessed with a woman's body count? Let me tell you a little story. There's a girl who I'm friends with who has a pretty high body count. And when she finally met a guy that she wanted to be in a relationship with, he wanted to be in one with her too, but he didn't want to put the label of boyfriend and girlfriend on it because he was a bit intimidated by the amount of guys she had been with before him. The problem is that he just wasn't pulling girls at the rate that he thought he would be. So she waited year after year hoping that he would change his mind in this weird ambiguous place where they were dating but not dating. And all it did was breed more anger and resentment on his end because he wasn't able to match her number. He cared about her. He wanted to be with her, but this was the thing that held them back from having a healthy and happy relationship. And I think a lot of guys who paint themselves into this corner where they are worried about a girl's body count do nothing but invite stress into their own lives, become more susceptible to myths and stereotypes, and overall just take a negative perspective on dating in general.
Yeah, he thinks that guys obsessed with a woman's body count are insecure and unable to enjoy dating. For a few hookups, a girl with a high body count is fine, but not for marriage. That woman he talked about is a clear example of the implications of hookup culture. In particular, the woman was not in a relationship, but situationship. And that's the point. You see, most women think they'll get a man easily no matter how many guys they've slept with, but the reality is that for a man to take them seriously, they must have a high degree of sexual discipline. Do women want top-tier guys? Cool. After a guy has increased his value enough, he's in a position to ask for a woman with certain parameters, not an average hoe who's been passed around. Another important thing is emotional damage, an inescapable consequence of hookup culture. Casual encounters often detach physical intimacy from emotional involvement, making it difficult to distinguish between genuine feelings and transient desires. This blurred line can leave individuals emotionally scarred, struggling to navigate the complexities of their own emotions and the emotions of their partners. This goes to show why men lean toward women with no past. A woman who can't deal with her emotions and even wants a man with so-called emotional awareness is not asking for a partner in whom to grow with together. She's looking for a sort of emotional tampon, a nice guy who will accept her as she is and neglect all the D's she took back in the day. A woman who racked up tons of bodies will hardly get the man of her dreams, so after many attempts, she'll resort to the "I just want a nice guy" narrative.
The whole time I was seeing him, I was kind of just using it as a psychology experiment, and I didn't really like the guy. I more just wanted to see if I could break his heart. I like humbling men.
You like humbling men?
Yeah, it's like my pastime.
You do work at a strip club, so do you humble men there?
No, I take their money.
Not cool. Not fucking cool.
And girls wonder why they can't find nice guys. It's because girls like this ruin it. That is like major narcissistic behavior fueled by like a disgusting girl boss, angry feminist culture. Take it down a peg. Somebody commented and said, "This is why Andrew Tate exists." You're not wrong. Somewhere a villain origin story has begun. Yeah, I want to hear the guy's side of this. I'd lose my crap.
Ghosting, a phenomenon rampant in hookup culture, can cause profound emotional distress. The act of suddenly cutting off all communication without explanation can be deeply hurtful and confusing. It often signifies a lack of emotional maturity and a failure to address one's own emotional baggage. For both the ghost or ghoster and the ghosted or ghostee, this behavior highlights a lack of emotional healing and personal growth, perpetuating a cycle of unresolved trauma. Another troubling outcome of hookup culture is the potential hindrance in finding a long-term partner. The short-term nature of these interactions can make it challenging to establish meaningful connections that evolve into lasting relationships. This can lead to feelings of isolation and a sense of disconnect from the prospect of finding a committed partner.
$37,000 is what the median income for a male in this country is. You'd be happily married to him and submit to him for a lifetime?
If he's married to me, that's going to change, so.
No. I said if he's just an average man. See, y'all all think you have the power of Thanos to make be not what it is. I said if a man was just an average earning man. See, the fact that you can't even...
It's the pause that tells you everything. Women don't settle. They wait at the finish line for winners. And unfortunately, women that do that never get the loyalty that they always crave from men. The smart women go right before the finish line and pick winners that are on their way, and they'll get some semblance of loyalty. But for the rest that wait for winners only, enjoy the life of getting passed around. That's your fate.
Don't even deserve me! How come every time you have sex with someone they leave?
All you've seen is nothing new if you've been in the space long enough. Female nature is easy to understand, but dealing with a ran-through woman is not easy at all. She's got bad habits, fears, and traumas from before you came into the picture, setting the stage for a failed relationship. When men want women with no past, it's not an accidental preference, it's pure biology, which is what we'll talk about now. I came across an article titled "Hookup Culture Harms Physical and Mental Health." Can't get more clear than that. Let's check it out. We live in an era of extensive sexual liberation. With loosening social norms and advanced communication technology, it's easier than ever to find sexual partners, leading to the rise of the hookup in Western culture. According to the American Psychological Association, hookups are brief, uncommitted sexual encounters between people who are not romantic partners or dating each other. The term hookup culture refers to a culture that accepts and encourages hooking up. Sounds pretty nice, right? All of the pleasure and none of the effort of commitment. What could possibly be wrong with that? Quite a bit, as it turns out. Hookup culture is harmful to individuals, harmful to society, and simply unethical. Hooking up damages both the mental and physical health of the people who engage in it. According to the APA, a survey of 1,468 undergraduate students found that 82.6% reported negative mental and emotional consequences, including embarrassment, loss of respect, and difficulties with maintaining steady relationships. Another study found that 78% of women and 72% of men who had engaged in uncommitted sex experienced regret afterward.
From my experience growing up, especially in university, seen on the outside having casual sexual relationships as this fun thing, it's not fun, and nobody thinks it's fun, especially women. So if you're around other girls and they're like, oh yeah, I hooked up with this guy, none of you guys are actually enjoying that. And I think that's a lie that women tell each other. I think because they think other people don't care. And because if you do it, it makes you feel bad enough that you're like, well, I don't want to look at that. Me feeling bad is not healthy. Or there's something wrong with you, right? And it's unpleasant enough that you're like, well, I'll just, keep going. It's already happened. There's nothing I can do about it. Might as well be okay, because what am I going to do about it if it's not okay? For anybody out there who's thinking, maybe I don't want to do that, it's not fun. It doesn't make you feel good. It's really lonely. It's not a good idea.
Why do you think men care about a woman's body count?
We're seen as objects that are to be used, and so they feel that if we have too many bodies that we've been used or loosed.
So it doesn't matter how many people a woman sleeps with, she's still pure.
Not at all. Pure is bullshit. That's not fucking real. You can't be pure if you're a human being, okay? Men, same thing. Fuck who you want to fuck. Do it however much you want to. Women, Doesn't matter. Sleep with who you want to sleep with, but make sure you're doing it safely.
Yes.
And make sure you're doing it with consent, okay?
But
there's actions to consequences, right? So if I punch a cop in the face, I'm probably going to get arrested. If a woman has a lot of promiscuous partners, most men aren't really going to want to take her seriously. Can you understand why that is?
I cannot. If you think like that, then I suggest that you grow up and get a grip.
Get a grip. As if you needed to go to therapy because you prefer women with low body counts. This is a clown world. This cultural shift, characterized by casual sexual interactions, has gained prominence in Western societies as a result. This is why both men and women think about sex 24/7, while the urge to build a family and all that stuff is pretty much gone. Hookups have become a widely accepted aspect of modern relationships. This phenomenon, often referred to as hookup culture, reflects a societal change that not only acknowledges but also encourages such casual connections. At a glance, hookup culture might seem appealing, offering physical pleasure without the complexities of commitment. However, a deeper examination reveals a host of significant concerns associated with this cultural shift. Hookup culture has the potential to have negative effects on both individuals and society, while also raising ethical questions. One of the notable consequences of hookup culture is its impact on mental and physical well-being. Research demonstrates that engaging in hookups can take a toll on individuals. A study involving a sample of individuals found that a significant majority reported experiencing negative emotional consequences, including feelings of embarrassment, a loss of respect, and difficulties in maintaining stable relationships. Furthermore, another study highlighted that a substantial percentage of participants, both men and women, experienced feelings of regret after engaging in casual sexual encounters. Digging deeper, it becomes evident that hookup culture can affect women's perceptions of their self-worth because, obviously, a woman is less valuable the more bodies she racks up. For many women, participating in casual sexual encounters can lead to a sense of diminished value. This sentiment often stems from societal norms linking a woman's chastity to her worth, ultimately resulting in feelings of self-devaluation following casual sex. This perceived loss of chastity can subsequently lead to reduced self-esteem and a sense of diminished personal value. Conversely, men's regret in the context of hookup culture often revolves around a different aspect. Many men express regret not over the potential loss of self-worth, but rather the time they might have spent on fleeting encounters rather than pursuing more meaningful connections or personal growth. The advice for men is rather simple. Money over hoes. A modern woman can provide nothing of value, while investing in yourself does. Let's keep on reading. Furthermore, those who had engaged in hookup culture were found to have lower overall self-esteem scores than those who had not. I think that's the worst part about it, one anonymous senior girl said. It ruins people's self-esteem. These effects are neither transient nor minor. According to the National Library of Medicine, both engaging in hookups and the number of hookup partners are related to greater symptoms of depression and anxiety. These are serious mental illnesses with potentially devastating, even deadly, consequences, not mildly inconvenient moods constrained to the morning after. Many Southern Lehigh high school students are familiar with these feelings. It depends. On the one hand, it can make you feel very good, one anonymous senior boy said, or it's a really awful one and makes you feel incompetent or like you just don't meet their needs. It can vary widely. This testimony is consistent with other accounts, both anecdotal and statistical. Emotions associated with hookups are typically mixed, and many individual instances have more positive than negative associations. These positive feelings, however, are often outweighed by the gravity of the negative feelings. Hookups also blur the line in relationships, making it difficult for those involved to determine exactly what the relationship is. This causes confusion regarding expectations, which can lead to uncomfortable situations and inevitably results in emotional distress. As high schoolers, many of us have probably experienced this emotional distress firsthand, or at least have friends who have experienced it.
when the sexual constraints are lifted off women, they all migrate to a very small percentage of men, 5% maybe. And then those men have an almost unlimited field of sexual access. And so you could say that's a benefit to them, but it's not, because it trains them to be manipulative, Machiavellian, instrumental psychopaths, because all they're doing is pursuing a string of pleasure-based, hedonistic, short-term relationships. That's bad training if you want to be a reciprocal human being and if you want to learn how to participate in a real relationship. So, and then it's catastrophe for the women, because none of those men are incentivized to form anything that approximates a long-term relationship. And then the rest of the men are left with nothing. Yeah, so that's
disastrous for society.
Disastrous, yeah, it's disastrous.
It's literally so dehumanizing. I can't do it because the way that guys look at me when I'm hooking up with them, it makes me feel I'm just an object, like I'm just there for their pleasure.
Like I don't get.
You're in love with someone, that experience is so different.
In exploring the dangers of hookup culture, a complex picture emerges, not much for men, but for women. On the surface, it might seem like a convenient way to experience physical pleasure without the commitments of traditional relationships. However, a closer examination reveals a range of emotional and psychological consequences that can significantly impact individuals, particularly women. The weight of regret, often stemming from a sense of diminished self-esteem, resonates through personal narratives and research findings alike. The phenomenon of hookup culture extends beyond mere physical encounters. It delves into the realms of self-worth, mental well-being, and emotional fulfillment. Women's feelings of regret underscore how societal constructs and gendered perceptions can intertwine with personal experiences, leading to a perception of losing something intrinsic to their value. This internal struggle can have lasting effects on self-esteem and self-perception. While some may perceive hookup culture as a source of so-called empowerment or liberation, there are broader emotional consequences it can bring. The pervasive feelings of regret and emotional distress among women reveal the depth of impact that extends beyond momentary gratification. The intricate web of emotions and psychological implications challenges the notion that hookup culture is a purely positive and empowering force. All in all, it's just disgusting, and the only people benefiting from it are Chad, Tyrone, and probably the condom and birth control industries. Stay strong, guys. As always, I wish you tremendous success. Now it's your turn. What do you think? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Remember that if you leave the best comment, you will get $5. Thank you so much for watching. If you found value in this video, hit the like and subscribe buttons, ring the notification bell so you don't miss out on future uploads, drop a comment, and share it. See you in the next video, guys. Till next time.